It's Kirk and Callahan with Kirk Minahan and Jerry Callahan on Sports Radio WEEI.
You have no souls. Don't look into the mirror. You won't see anything looking back. Kirk Minahan, and to a lesser degree in this equation, Jerry Callahan, today's worst persons in the sports world.
Yep, as goddamn always, it's all about me. Like Jerry,
you're worse.
To a lesser, that should be the name of the show. Minahan, and to a lesser extent, Callahan. That's essentially the show in the core.
Kirk Minahan, and to a lesser degrey in this equation, Jerry Callahan.
He hated me like years before he came along.
He hates me with much more passion than he hates you. What is that about?
He hated Dino. I don't know. It's
Kirk Minahan.
What did you do? I forget.
Oh, Christ, who knows? I think the first one was Aaron Andrews for sure.
Correct.
The second one was that Ernie Johnson thing or something. I forget. I don't remember. It was not a big deal.
What did you do to deserve the award, Brit?
There's been a couple week wins. I criticized Michael Bennett for race baiting.
Whoa. How dare you do that?
Yeah. Colin Kaepernick. Clearly you know where I would stand on that. And you know what? I actually reserved my thoughts about him kneeling until it was the 4th of July. He was in Ghana, which is great for him. He was doing good things. But it was like a tweet where how can we truly celebrate a country that enslaves people? It was like a swipe at the United States on the 4th of July. And that
by the way,
ticked me off.
Bob McNair, the Texans, the word is he's not going to sign anybody or acquire anybody who kneels for the anthem.
Right. So if J.J. Watt decided to kneel,
I'll just say that's his right.
Absolutely.
That's his right.
With that.
The Saints felt similar a couple years ago.
I mean, it is funny. That exposes ESPN. I mean, you cannot go on ESPN and criticize Kaepernick. He's like a god to them. The whole crew, Around the Horn, Lebatard, Jamel Hill,
PTI, yeah,
and PTI. The whole they cannot understand how anyone could dislike the man.
Which again, and I don't care if you kneel or not, but I'm surprised that they're so ignorant to the fact that such a large portion of the country at least has an opposing view. Whether or not you can have it, you can have both sides on. But I'm always amazed at that.
They don't know anyone.
I know in their circle they know no
one. Who
one
voted for Trump. They don't know anyone.
Nobody. Right.
Ousted me.
Right.
Well, Megan Rapinoe, she's a female soccer player for the U.S. women's team, obviously. She was kneeling, and that's when U.S. Soccer changed their bylaws, where it would require everyone to stand.
Right.
And I remember going on ESPN.com, this is when I was still there, and there was a lead article, possibly on the front page, at least on the soccer page, saying how it was terrible, how they're in the wrong. I was fed up, and I wrote something, and I said, okay, at least with Colin Kaepernick, there's 32 teams. I don't agree with it, but I can see different nuance. When you have USA on your jersey, it comes with the territory, and it's a private business. They can run it the way they want. I submitted it. I wanted to run it, and was told they wouldn't.
Right? Yeah, that's
really
no surprise. No surprise. And by the way, that's interesting. Whether you can, if you disagree with it, great.
Just
who cares?
Why can't you have the other voice?
Yeah, have both stories up there. And by the way, I would do a segment with whoever wrote it on air. Do it on air and fight about it.
It is amazing. Yeah. Like Sage Steele went on the record and criticized the Black Lives Matter people or the Antifa people who disrupted the airport, stopped people from getting to their flights.
And by the way, I'd say she did it pretty lightly too. It wasn't like she was.
And you're talking about old people who trying to go visit their grandkids,
sick people,
and they couldn't. Sick people or families trying to get somewhere, and they couldn't make the connecting flights because Antifa took over the airport. And Dan Lebertad was repulsed by that.
He was crying, again, as he always does. He was legitimately crying on the air about it.
He ripped her apart. He couldn't believe that she would actually criticize these anarchists.
Well, I think that's better. He literally couldn't comprehend it.
Right.
It didn't make sense to him.
That's typical, par for the course of ESPN. They can't comprehend someone who's not a radical left-wing nut job.
Yeah. He actually went on air at one point and said, you would do better here if you were conservative. I beg to differ. Where is that happening?
If he were conservative, he would be...
that's right. He did say that, didn't he?
Writing about Little League games for the Brockton Enterprise.
No, that's right. He'd be taking phone calls from coaches.
Or he'd be working at Home Depot. He would not have a job at ESPN if he weren't a left-wing lunatic and Skipper's drinking buddy. That helped.
True. All right, it's Britt McHenry, by the way, if you're just tuning in. She was on with us last week. She's been with us for the last hour or so here. Number 617-779-7937. Listen, hold on a second. The callers are not listening to me today. Maybe I'm being too polite.
We had a few, and they hung up.
They hung up during the break. I understand that. When I'm not asking you, I'm telling you to call in and tell me what you think of Brit so far. I want 5 full lines. I want them right now. 617-779-7937. If you like her, certainly call in and say that. If you hate her so far, certainly call in and say that. We want to hear from everybody.
If you like Tangway better?
Lines. Yeah, if you like Tangway better, if you like Mutt better, 617-779-7937. This just in, by the way, ESPN,
just breaking.
Stephen Ross. Dolphins players must stand for anthem in 2018. Ross felt the message is being sent that kneeling was anti-military.
Wow. Now
so the owners are now
all set for the day. You go right down the line on ESPN
ban the Dolphins
today.
from the NFL.
Yeah, they can say how insane this is that they actually want guys to stand for the anthem.
You and I disagree, and I think Britt and I disagree. Like I really don't care if a player kneels, but if your owner is saying stand, that's how it works.
Right.
It's a business, so you stand.
It's a business, and here's the issue too. When you look into the finances, the NFL had a partnership. They took money from the Department of Defense
military,
and the National Guard. Yeah. $5 million, I think, from the DoD, $6 million from National Guard to promote the anthem. They started it in 2009. So if you're taking money in a business transaction and you're doing something as a partnership to promote our military, then why don't you get on the same page, Goodell, and you actually make sure that happens?
See, I have one. I obviously I don't.
Sorry, I just got really heated up.
Don't like these guys who kneel. I hate Kaepernick. I ask one thing: articulate your grievances. Tell me why you're doing it. And he's such a dummy; he can't do it. That's why he's so.
That's why he won't speak to anyone.
Reticent.
Well, he's not a dummy.
He's a dummy.
He's not a dummy.
He's an absolute moron.
He had a 4.0 GPA in college. He had a 3.0. He's not. He's not a dummy.
He's an idiot.
He's not. He's not a dummy.
I think he is.
Okay.
Well, you think he's smart?
Well, I think that's the
I don't think he's smart.
Okay.
I've done a lot of interviews with the 49ers when he was a star, and I wouldn't say he was the most eloquent person.
I think what I did was taken out of context and spun a different way.
This is a guy who supports a charity, gave money to a charity that is named after a woman who assassinated a cop and then ran to Cuba.
I have no use for him. I'm not saying I have any use for him.
His Fidel Castro shirt, too, in Miami.
Do you want to play that exchange with the Miami reporter?
And the pig socks. Terrible. Stupid. I'm not defending him.
But he cannot articulate his problem with whatever. The U.S.
I'll say this. He certainly hasn't. He's chosen not to.
Yeah,
I agree with that. He has chosen not to.
Okay, I'll give him that. He's smart.
That's calculated.
You know why he's smart? Because he doesn't say anything.
You think it's a secret reason?
I think it enhances his...
It's a mystique around him.
Yeah.
No, because he knows if he opens his mouth, he'll prove that he's a moron.
I don't think he believes that.
And if he keeps his mouth shut...
I don't believe he thinks he's a moron. And I don't think that's true.
I think he knows he cannot articulate his case.
And here's the thing that people don't understand. Look, my father served... A close friend of mine served. We all know people who served. I know that they do that to protect our freedoms, to give us the right to have freedom of expression and speech. But if you are a family member and you watch someone go to war on a tarmac like I did in my lifetime, I'm sorry, you stand. That I will never waver from that.
Sure, but then there are people in the military who feel the opposite. They have no problem with it. They say he should do it. That's the freedom he's allowed to have. That's what we fought for. So, I mean, but there are other people in the military who feel the exact opposite that you do, which is okay.
Yeah, but the conversation got to a point, though, where it was like, if you want people to stand, you're a bigot. And if you kneel, then you hate America.
Correct. Which is, Jerry feels if you kneel, you hate America. You've said that, yes. which is stupid, obviously.
Kaepernick hates America. He thinks Cuba is better. A better place, a better country.
The Ivory Coast is better.
Well, I know he doesn't think that because he doesn't live there. He hasn't moved there, has he?
No, he has not. But he's probably would like to visit. He's traveled a lot. Another thing he's afraid to do is afraid to play football. He could play football if he wanted to.
No, but I think that goes more into I think he thinks his idea of these activists and this mystique thing. I think he thinks this makes him larger than football.
But there's people.
But meanwhile, he's kind of gone away. I mean,
people who complain that he hasn't been signed. When has he ever gave the impression that he wants to be signed?
He hasn't.
And it annoys me when they'll bring up every backup. Oh, this guy has a job. Yeah, maybe for a preseason that they're going to cut in 2 weeks, they're not going to bring a national headache in, and all the press of Kaepernick.
But those guys want to play,
and they actually want to play.
Right.
Yeah,
that's the difference. Why do we think he wants to play?
I don't know. How do we want to talk about Kaepernick?
I don't know. It was Stephen Ross.
Stephen Ross. It's just breaking that he's going to demand.
And he's going to get demonized today. But why? If it's your business and it's hurting your brand.
Crucified today.
Right.
Crucified.
But don't you think after the Texans, they didn't announce it, but the story broke. The Texans weren't going to sign any kneelers.
But here's the thing, Jerry, if you're Ross, why even do it? It's
because it plays
a dead story
to the majority. The majority of people don't like kneelers.
I know, but I don't think. But don't you think the kneeling story by and large was gone?
Maybe the Houston Texans.
But they have to get out in front of it because if they don't.
Until dummy Trump tweets about it, it's not a story at all. He makes it a story because you know why? He knows it's red meat.
It works for him.
It's red meat to the flyover dummies.
Right.
We know that.
Yes.
Idiots like you
flyover
two.
dummy.
Yes, morons.
Yes.
I did call with all the Jared Kushner and Ivanka stuff last week when we were filming this new show. I said, watch. We're going to get tweets about the national anthem. Happened Saturday from Trump.
Yes, it's not going away.
Trump loves it. Of course, for him, I get it. I mean, that's a no-lose battle.
But
you think other owners will follow?
Let me ask you a serious question. Do you think Donald Trump privately and 3 years ago cared if somebody kneeled for an anthem or not?
No, but I think
the answer is no.
Disrespects the flag, yes.
I don't think he cares.
Well, I mean, I
can only think of the things he's done during the national anthem in his life watching a game on television.
You don't think he stands at attention, sings?
No, I do not.
We
heard him try to sing.
And why we proudly stand for the national anthem.
This whole thing took on a new life when he said, "Get those sons of bitches out."
But they have to get in front of it because they didn't this past season, and that's what happened.
But it's not going to be as big this year as it was last year, though.
You never know.
Trump says something, and you never know. It went from being kneeling.
Let's be honest. If Trump says something like that again next year, these players are going to kneel. I don't care what Stephen Ross says or McNair. They're going to kneel. Then it becomes a huge story.
Well, then fine them.
What if they suspend a player? What if they suspend a player?
Then that player will literally be treated like Jesus Christ by the media. They will carry
that
him.
Is so
I'm
true.
serious. They will carry him around.
He will be on magazine covers everywhere.
What's that?
Kenny Stills is the returning Dolphin who's most likely to. He knelt all.
The players will start weighing in today on social media about this between McNair and Ross. Now you're going to get this whole thing, and now that blows up again.
And then you get other owners who fall in line.
Are we
probably not
about friggin' Kaepernick again next year. Are we going to do this again?
God bless the United States.
Let's go to St. Paul's. Chris is down the Cape. Hey, Chris.
Hey, good morning, lady and gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning, Chris. What's up?
I like your attitude, Brett. I really like the opinion piece on Rapinoe and the women's soccer, and I'd love to hear that piece at some point because I totally agree with that. It's an honor to play on a USA team, and just totally disagree with the kneeling there. But yeah, I like you.
I appreciate it.
Chris likes you.
Thank you, Chris. We need some more of those calls.
By the way, 5 minutes ago,
Trump.
With Trump, it's great. He's great. You always check just to make sure there's that blue mark because you never know. Sometimes you just think it's a parody account.
Right.
Yeah.
Lowest rated Oscars in history. Problem is we don't have stars anymore, except your president. Just kidding, of course. See, that's funny. I like it. That's funny. He can be funny sometimes.
Tim is in Canton. Hey, Tim.
Hey, great guest. Warming up. Britt, I think you're doing a good job. I would recommend maybe listening to a couple shows where Trenny or Tomasi have been on so you can get the feel for the show. But I have two qualifying questions for you.
Okay.
Would you consider yourself a car gal? And the boys will know what that is. Secondly, do you play an instrument, and would you wear a bathing suit in the studio while playing said instrument?
Yes, one of our guys, Mutt, who we have on, played the trombone shirtless for us. And why did he do that?
He was trying to win a contest. And
what contest was it?
Mr. Brainless.
Battle of
Mr.
Brainless.
Yes.
We have Mutt is one of our co-hosts, and Chris, our producer, are two of the dumbest people you've ever met.
On Earth.
And we were trying to determine who the dumbest was.
So we had a trilogy, Battle of the Brainless, between the two of them. And to win Mr. Brainless, Mutt in the tiebreaker came in playing his trombone in his bathing suit.
And
it sounds beautiful.
He clinched it right there. Clinched the title.
He did. He won the title forever. Although he's gone now and out of our lives.
Buck is down the Cape. Hey, Buck.
Hey, how's it going out there?
What's up, Buck? What do you got?
Hey, good. I think Britt's good, engaging, speaks well, sounds good. Only thing I'll say is she's treated, Mutt and Gary are treated differently when they're on the air.
You think?
They're our best. Like Mutt's one of my best friends. I've known Gary. We've known them forever. We just met her.
I get that. I understand that, but I'm just saying that's hard to gauge. You do a comparison, it's apples to oranges.
I bet the first time Trenny was on, you would have said the same thing, and then 4 times in, we were screaming at each other the whole time.
I even think we're getting there now.
We're making progress.
So you and I would get along. Trenny's a crazy liberal. I mean, just off the charts.
No, instead of it would be the two of you fighting with me instead of the two of us fighting with you, as it was with Trenny,
correct?
Right? Although I'm not liberal like Trenny. I mean, I'm not.
Nobody is.
Nobody is. No.
Except Tomasi, another one of our props. I mean, co-hosts.
That's Trenny right there.
Thanks, Buck.
Buck.
I'm trying to find someone who doesn't
Does anybody
like
hate Brett, by the way? And we have a line open. Jesus. Doesn't have to
Joe is in Boston.
I know there is.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, how you doing? I just wanted to say that I think Britt should be the new third chair in there.
Hey, Jerry and I would get along.
You think we should have her on every day, 5 days a week?
That's right. And I also wanted to say that I think that she was a little too easy.